Mayhem with Maverick, brought to you by Mayhem Studios, LLC. I'm coming off the cuff, no script today. Pardons, pardons, pardons. You get a pardon, you get a pardon, everyone gets a pardon. Are you freaking kidding me? It's the first day of Trump's presidency, and we find out how many pardons Joe Biden gave out. In his whole term, Joe Biden gave out 8,064 pardons. Now, just Sunday, his number was 4,200. So in his last day, he gave out all these pardons. Now, the second highest pardons was Andrew Johnson, 7,654. And the majority of those were ex-Confederate soldiers. He was trying to bring the country together by giving those Confederates a pardon for all the war and trying to bring the country together. But that's not what Joe Biden did. He pardoned his family, his siblings' wives, their kids, except probably the granddaughter that he refuses to acknowledge. Folks, this is bullshit, okay? He promised, I'm not gonna pardon Hunter. But he did. And then he pardoned all his family. What are they guilty of? Innocent people don't need pardons. He said that every time Trump mentioned lawfare, that the law was coming after him, and that every time Trump did something, there was a prosecutor and they were using it against him. Biden and his administration said there's no such thing as lawfare. But then Biden, in signing these pardons, minutes before the inauguration, he tells people, well, the justice system is corrupt and there's lawfare out there, and I'm protecting everyone from Trump's administration coming after me. Oh, you mean preventing Trump from doing what your administration did? And he didn't only just do his family and his kids and all these. I mean, the whole Biden crime family's protected, but he did the January 6th committee. What did they do wrong, right? They investigated January 6th. Whether you believe it was a terrorist incident or not, January 6th did happen, and Congress had every right to investigate it. Are you saying that there was corruption within that investigation? That some of these people did some shady shit? Because let's be honest, most of those congressmen are shady people. You gave Adam Schiff a pardon. What did he do wrong? What is he accused of? Then you gave the 3 Capitol Police officers pardons. The 3 Capitol Police officers that testified in front of the January 6th committee. Why do they need a pardon? Did they not tell the truth? Did they lie? Is there something going on that you're trying to cover up? Because why would a police officer who spoke the truth in a testimony in front of Congress need a pardon? Does that make any sense? You know, from a police officer standpoint, I don't need a pardon if I'm testifying in court of the truth. Tells me they didn't tell the full truth, or they were told to tell certain things. Then he gave preemptive pardons to Fauci and to all these, a whole bunch of other people. But yet, 4 years ago, when Trump was leaving office, Trump threw a softball, said, no, I'm thinking about preemptive pardons. And Biden's administration that was getting ready to take office went nuts, said it should be illegal. It's going to set a bad precedent. Trump didn't do it. But then Biden does it. I mean, he's that senile. Honestly, let's be honest. He's that senile. He doesn't know what he says half the time. And he doesn't know what he said 4 years ago, let alone let's go all the way back to the 70s and 80s when he said he didn't want black children in white schools, making it a jungle. I mean, the man flip-flopped his whole career. And the fact that he pardoned that many people is outrageous. And now, so Trump goes, before yesterday, Trump only had 237 pardons from his first administration. And then, boom, now he has 1,737. Okay, yes, he pardoned the January 6th participants. Now, that's going to upset a lot of people. But you know what? Again, the Biden administration and the Justice Department, they went too far on those people. Now, there's some people that probably deserve to be in trouble on January 6th, but not everybody that was involved. If you see some of the videos, you have guards and police officers opening the doors and escorting these people, okay? Now, there are some people that broke gates, broke windows. They should be punished, but they shouldn't be sitting in prison longer than some people that I've arrested for major felonies. I've arrested people that deal crack, and they spend less time in jail than these January 6th protesters. Because they, the administration, Biden's Justice Department, used lawfare against these people. Should they have been punished? Absolutely. But not to the extent that they have been. People lost jobs. People lost all kinds of stuff. There's no reason for that. It just goes to show what kind of crap the Democratic Party feeds people. They'll say one thing and they do a total other. And now I'm seeing posts about, I can't believe Trump's president again. These people are crazy. Why did they vote him in? Hey, get a grip, folks. He won the electoral vote and the popular vote. Something hasn't been done in a while, especially for Republican. So guess what? The majority of this country wants President Trump and his administration in charge. We want adults in charge. We don't want a senile old man and a cackling freaking Haktua girl, okay? We want grown adults. We want people that served in the military. A lot of his cabinet are prior military personnel. So get off it. I can't believe that TDS is still running rampant in this country. We had to sit here for 4 years watching Biden tear this country apart, make us look bad. Now you got a man who's in the office that wants to make this country better, wants to bring back our pride, and wants to make our lives better. It may not seem that way when you look at it through the Democratic lies, but opening up our oil, we need to do that. You know why? Because OPEC and all those Middle Eastern countries are bleeding us dry. Our gas prices are through the roof because of them. I'll tell you, when I was in the Middle East, gas is cheap over there. They pay nothing for gas in their countries. We produce our own oil. We can produce our own gasoline. And our gas prices will go down. Products will go down. A lot of these green thumpers forget, they just want to ban gas, ban oil, stop cars, Well, if we don't use oil, there's a lot more products that are affected besides cars. Hey, guess what? Your Tesla vehicle needs oil. Because all the plastic that's made in that car is made from oil. You can't cut something out without knowing every product it's created by. Oil creates more than just gasoline. It creates a lot of products that are in this video right now, that I'm using for this video, that you're using to watch this video. On your cell phones and your TVs, your cars, your desk, everything has oil based from it. Even concrete, the roadways have some type of oil component in it. Duct tape has components of oil in it. So grow up and understand how the real world works. The military-industrial complex will never survive without oil. Okay? You want to go 100% electric and stop drilling for oil, you can't do things without oil. Okay? And the military will suffer because they won't have the equipment they need. I think it's great that Trump immediately signed off, no more of this green crap, no more of this rule of having to have electric cars. You know what? I guarantee the automakers are going to be happy with that. They made their electric cars, the American cars, made electric cars because they were being forced to by the law. Now it's not a law. So we'll see what happens with Chevy and Ford and all them. I mean, Tesla's still going to make their cars, and good for Elon, okay? I can't afford those cars. Kind of don't like them. And the Cybertruck is one of the most ugliest things in the world. But he can make his money the way he wants to make his money, because I don't care how you make your money. Just make your money. Be a happy person. Now, there's going to be more executive orders signed by President Trump, and people are going to be angry. But listen, Biden did the same thing. Then Trump did it before him. Obama did it. That's part of the job. That's part of what happens when a new administration comes in. Tons of executive orders get signed. It's just the game that these guys play. They all know it. They all do it on purpose. Shout out to Whitetail Properties. Those are people I got my property in Tennessee from. Sorry. Jordan, I love you, brother. This country needs to come back together and realize that we can have different opinions and not have to call each other shitbags because I voted for Trump. If you're one of those people that constantly is so angry that you call almost half of the country Nazis and all this and all these other hateful things, you're crazy. It's ridiculous to do that, because eventually you'll get back in the office. And as soon as the other half tries to say that, you're going to get offended. So just stop. Be an adult. Get involved if you want to get involved, like I said last time. Okay? So I'm done with politics because I'm all off the cuff today. Well, let's talk about the NFL, right? I said something a few months ago about I don't believe the NFL cares about their players. And it was because of a game that the Bucs was playing where I watched Baker Mayfield get face masked a couple times and the refs didn't call it. Well, last week during the wild card, the Bucs lost, so we're out of the running for the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Baker Mayfield got face masked again. Showed up on the freaking Jumbotron. Refs never saw it. How they didn't see it is amazing. Again, the refs that game, a lot of bad calls, a lot of missed calls. But yet, let's go to the KC game. Let's go to the Chiefs game. You even look at Patrick Mahomes, cross-eyed, flag. I mean, they're protecting that kid. Here's my deal. I'm not a big conspiracy person, but I'm going to tell you the NFL is starting to really twist the conspiracy in me. I truly am starting to believe that the NFL in the beginning of the year knows who they want in the Super Bowl, knows who they want to make it to the playoffs, and those refs are making sure it happens. That's my personal opinion. Because if they truly cared about injuries, like this stupid new kickoff, and if you haven't seen it, it is the dumbest thing in the world. This new kickoff is, you don't run in and you can't tackle each other and all this crap because injury. If you truly were concerned about your employees, which all the players in the NFL are employees of the NFL, if you truly care about their health and welfare, your refs would be looking for all those face masks and those bad hits, but they're not. It's only certain guys. And on top of that, if you were so concerned, you wouldn't have guys that have concussions still playing. You wouldn't have guys that have 4 or 5 concussions yelling at police officers and running down the field naked. You do something about it. You would have better health care. You would have better retirements. Let's be honest. The players have a union. The union needs to start really looking out for these guys. Have a better pension for these guys. Teach them how to invest their money when they're young so they don't end up 30 years old with 16 concussions and is sitting in a wheelchair because he can't talk and has no money now. They don't care about them. They're money makers. It's just like college, with the NIL. If you don't know what that is, name, identity, and likeness, right? For hundreds of years, colleges were able to make profit off of these college kids. We'll use Warwick Dunn, right? Warwick Dunn was at FSU. Every jersey that had Dunn's name on it, Florida State got money. Warwick didn't, right? When Warwick got to the NFL, he started getting it. Now these kids get money because they're money makers. The colleges honestly don't care about their football team and how well they do in their academics. Let's be honest, folks. They want to win titles, and these kids get them titles, and these kids get them money. And it's the same thing in the NFL. They don't care truly about these players. Now, there are some teams out there that do, that are family. I'm going to tell you that I am not happy with the NFL. I will love my Bucks forever. When we move to Tennessee, I'll still be a Buccaneer fan. And I have some players on other teams I like, but the NFL as a whole, I don't like. It's kind of like I tell you, I love my country. I hate my government. You can do that. Believe it or not, you can do that. I love the New York Yankees. Have been since I was a little kid. But you know what? Major League Baseball has pissed me off for many years. I don't watch it anymore. I'm still a Yankees fan, and I will still promote them and cheer for them and hope that they make it to the World Series. But I don't watch MLB very often anymore because of some stuff that I personally was upset about. The strike back in the day when we didn't even get a World Series that year, and a lot of the other crap that goes on. You know, I'm not into professional sports as much as I used to. I love watching hockey. Hockey's great to go watch in the stadium. But I'm not into the pro sports like I used to be because I'm starting to see stuff. It's just, it's upsetting. So, you know, again, I truly don't believe the NFL cares about their players. And I would really like to see a Super Bowl without the Kansas City Chiefs anymore. Okay, folks? Please, stop throwing flags every time Patrick Mahomes stubs a toe so some other teams can get into the Super Bowl. All right, what else? Well, you know, there's been so much going on, and you know, I've been retired since October, so what's that? 3 months. I feel like it's Groundhog Day for me, man. Every day, up, down, up, down, up, down. It is what it is, but I can tell you guys that when you think you're ready for retirement, you might not fully be ready. I mean, I was ready to leave law enforcement. Don't get me wrong, right? Law enforcement has changed a lot in the 30 years I was in law enforcement, you know, and I was ready to leave law enforcement. I don't think I'm ready to be a retired person yet. Like I said, I feel like Groundhog Day. I get up, I do all the same chores every day, and, you know, I prep dinner for the family. Maybe we go to a soccer game because my son plays soccer. Maybe we go out with some friends, but it's the average day is the same thing. Day in and day out. It's not like going to work and accomplishing things. You know, I accomplish things for my family. Yes, I pay my bills. I do the laundry. I do the dishes. I do stuff around the house so my family can enjoy themselves when they get home. You know, I play with the dogs. I feed the dogs. I take the dogs out. But am I accomplishing anything? A thing that retirees face, at least I feel that they face because I'm facing it, is the existence without a purpose. You know, when I worked at the police department, I woke up every day. I did all the things I always do. Chores, prepping food, walking dogs. But then I went to work and I had a sense of purpose. You know, I went to work and I helped people. You know, and I helped my partners and I helped my fellow employees and I helped my fellow citizens. I had a purpose. And right now, it feels like I don't have a sense of purpose. So I made the choice to continue doing this, which this doesn't pay me anything. I'm doing this just to have fun and, you know, reach out to people and get some ideas to do more stuff. But right now, I'm actually back into looking at jobs. You know, I've applied to jobs because even if it's part-time, it's something for a sense of purpose to feel like I'm accomplishing something. You know, I enjoyed sitting around doing nothing for a couple months, especially during the holidays. You know, it was great. I didn't have to do jack, you know, trees up. Presents wrapped, I'm just sitting around goofing off, you know, playing some video games, talking to friends, you know, having fun. But it comes to that time where you realize that, you know, I'm in my 50s. I still got plenty of time to relax and retire and do the traveling and move to Tennessee like we want to do. I still got time. My wife's still working, so why not go and do something? So I suggest that when you make that decision to retire, always make sure that it's financial. Okay, always make sure that you're financially ready to be retired, because I've noticed that at my police department, guys retire and then they come crawling back and come back as a civilian working there because they weren't financially ready, or they're not financially set, or they're not financially smart. I mean, when you got guys that are majors that are retiring with 6-figure pensions and they're coming crawling back, you know, tells me you don't know what you're doing. I'm not going to go crawling back to the city of Clearwater or Clearwater Police Department because, again, I don't want to do anything with law enforcement. I don't want to do with anything in security. But I will do something just to feel productive. And if you're going to be like me someday and get to that point, be ready. You know, Be ready to understand that, yeah, your first couple months, it's awesome. It's great. Growing the beard, growing the hair, hanging out, waking up at 10, it's great. And it feels great, especially for somebody like me who I've had a full-time job since I was 17 years old. And before I was 17, I was working at apple orchards. I was working as a dishwasher. I've been working since I was 13 years old. So it definitely feels good to just relax and have no one telling you what you have to do. Like a good friend of mine told me, he goes, Mike, one of the best parts is no one tells you when you have to get up. No one tells you when you have to go to bed. No one tells you how to have your hair. No one tells you how to have your beard. No one tells you how to dress. It's great. But eventually I at least got the urge to go back to work. You got to get prepared for that you may get bored or you may just get the itch that you want to do something. You got to communicate that with your spouse as well. You got to talk to your spouse and just say, this is how I feel. Especially if you're down. Some people, man, when they retire, they hit the skids, man. They get depressed because you don't have that purpose. You don't have those friends. Man, I have so many friends at Clearwater Police Department. And I talk to them, but not like I did when I was at work, because I was every day talking to them. Your work wife, your work husband, all that crap. You're talking to them. You're working with them. It's a different interaction when you're working with your friends and when you're retired, but yet they're still working. So that can put some stress on you. You could kind of get depressed. Honestly, I wasn't depressed because I was happy to leave the police department. I was happy to leave law enforcement. I was just not happy to leave my friends and my coworkers. So just a heads up for those that are coming close to retirement, that are still young guys, especially you military guys that are like, I'm just doing 20 and getting out. You're still, you could still be in your 40s. Try to think about how that's going to feel. Prep yourself, prep your family, and have a plan. That's the biggest thing. Have a plan and be ready for it. That's all I really have for today. Like I said, most of it was off the cuff because I was just dumbfounded about a lot of things. But, honestly, I wanted to put some stuff out about me, about my retirement, and about what I'm planning. So, guys, if you like what you hear, if you like what you see, hey, hit the like button, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Let's get this bigger. I think I got 88 subscribers on YouTube. I got a bunch of followers on Facebook. Hey, I'm on X as well. I'm on Instagram. Let's get it as a movement. Let's get moving. Send me, if you're on my Facebook, if you're on my YouTube, send me a message. Say, hey, Mike, talk about this. Or, hey, I would love your opinion about this. I'd love to do that, guys. Tell me what you want me to talk about. I'll do that too. Don't let me just control the whole situation. Send me stuff. Send me ideas. I'm sure you guys would love to hear my opinion on things or my experience on things. All right. With that, guys, I'm out. See ya.